2, 1. All right, everybody, let's see what we've got here. So those of you at home, here's your warm-up, guys. Draw an oven on your paper. To the left of the oven, list 4 school-appropriate things that you could put into that oven. On the right, list 4 things that would come out of the oven, and then list 3 things that literally cannot go into the oven. All right, let's see here, guys. So if this is our oven, it's the black oven. I don't know, I got you. There's our oven. What is something that you could place into an oven? Let me go ahead and draw some cards here. We're going to go for Aria. What is something that you could place into the oven, Aria?
You could put shoes in an oven.
You absolutely could. Should you? No, but you sure could. Shoes. And what comes out of an oven when you put shoes in there, Aria?
Charred rubber.
Yeah. I would probably, honestly, probably ash. Just ashes, right? Like, you just burn it up. You just burn it up. Let's see here, guys. How about we go for, that's going to be, Evan, what's something else you could put in an oven?
Broccoli.
Broccoli, sure. So raw broccoli. Raw broccoli. And then what comes out of the oven when you put raw broccoli in there? I mean, I guess baked broccoli? Which, by the way, I don't think anybody, I love broccoli. I've never baked a broccoli. I've put, oh yeah, you could put it in a casserole. That'll work. Anyway, come on up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess if you put it like on top of a casserole, I've done that. But I've never just taken a head of broccoli and popped it in the oven and baked it for 20 minutes. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. That's what I was thinking. Okay, Ethan, go ahead, sir.
So you put a Honda Civic into the oven?
Now, I would say that a Honda Civic actually would not fit inside of a standard oven. So I would actually write that for my answer to number 4, that you cannot, in fact, drive a Honda Civic into an oven and put it in there. So I would say that answers that question.
What if I own
Wait. We don't have that kind of time, guys. Let's do it. Let's see here, Hazel. What else could you pop in there?
You could put
Cookie dough. Cookie dough. If you don't eat it all first, that's me. Like when I'm making cookies, I'm like, I love cookie dough. And I just eat the dough. And then when I bake it, I'm a little sad that it's not dough anymore. But what comes out when you put in cookie dough? Yeah, ooh, I love the specificity. Warm cookies. I love that. Delicious. Okay. Now, guys, we don't have to get into this until 9th grade, but just so you know, the things that can go into an oven are what we call the domain of that oven. Like things that can go into an oven are things that we say exist in its domain. And then the stuff that comes out of an oven is, no pun intended, the range. Okay? The stuff that, no, because what's another word for oven? Range. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it is the 78th day of school. Did you guys know that since the sum of the prime factors of 77 and 78 are equal, they are a Ruth-Aaron pair? That is 77. 77 is 7 times 11. And 78 is 2, I think it was, 2 times 3 times 13? And if you do those prime factors added together, you get 18 on both. Since they're consecutive integers that have their prime factors that add up to the same number, they are a Ruth-Aaron pair. It's National Gingerbread House Day. Yay! All right. What is our first essential question? I'd love to get that from Prexia. Will you guys write this down? What are some different ways? What are some different ways we can represent relationships? Okay. Let's see here. Can I get another one? And this one's going to come from Moses. How can we tell if they are or are not functions? All right. Oh, and what's the last one? The last one, I'm not going to write it down, but I do want you to read it. What is the last one here? And I would love to get that from, that's going to be Vikram. Yeah, where the heck is calculator number 6? Normally, when one of my calculators walks away, it shows up later that day. And when it doesn't, it usually just shows up the next day. But it hasn't shown up for 2 days, and now I'm going to have to start asking you guys, where's calculator number 6? If you guys know where it is, or if you borrowed it, like if you walked away with it, guys, it's fine. I'm not mad. I just want it back. Anyway, Jeopardy this week is Taylor Swift. For years, this Taylor Swift ex claimed All Too Well wasn't about him, but rather about Swifties. They didn't take that too well, by the way. When the 10-minute version was released, he accepted that he really was the subject of that song. It is not Taylor Lautner. Does anybody know who that is? The correct answer. The correct answer is Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal. And then things seen in winter. Guys, here's the fun thing. In Pictionary, since I'm looking for, well, no, I guess I'm looking for skis, so I can't take skiing, but skis is there. Skis is there. If it was ski, I could take skiing, but I can't take ski. All right, skis is the right answer. Anyway, got a pencil? Okay, today, guys, we're going to talk about functional relationships. This is not part of your facts class, by the way. That's a different lesson. that is a lesson in your facts class, but this is also a lesson in math. Because guys, it turns out there are ways that we can represent functions that aren't just those function factories that we made. By the way, we do get out at 8:25 today, which is why we're going to be in a bit of a rush. We do have to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set a little alarm for, I've got, let's see, I think about 18 minutes to get through 2 days of Math 8, so. Yes, indeed. Here we go, because we have to talk a little bit about where you're headed after this, okay? Okay, here we go, guys. So here, let's get through this really quick, and I'll be right with you, okay? So here we go, guys. First one up is called a mapping diagram. A mapping diagram looks like this. It's a pair of ovals next to each other where the inputs go on the left and the outputs go on the right. Gesundheit. The output goes on the right. Gesundheit. So let's go ahead and say that on the left-hand side, our inputs, I'm not going to tell you what the relationship is, but the inputs are going to be words. Hoi Bing, give me a word, please. Food. Food. That's one of my inputs. I would like another one, James. Phone. Let's get 2 more. How about Vikram? Give me a word. Car. And 1 more, and I would love to get that from Moses. Television. So if the input is a word, the output is going to be the number of vowels in that word. So how many vowels are in food? 2. So we would put a 2 here, and you might be saying, isn't this just a table of values? What makes it different is that we go from food to 2 like that. That is, if we put food into the relationship, 2 comes out. How many vowels are in phone? 2, which is why we would just draw another arrow that goes from phone to 2. How many vowels are in car? 1, so we would go here. And then how many vowels are in television? 5. Is it 5? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh, TV, that'd be 0. All right. Okay, that's a mapping diagram. Is this relationship a function, yes or no? I'm hearing yeses mostly. Will you talk it out really quick? Teach. Pardon me? Carol, will you hand me that eraser, please? Thank you. Well, because I had a lot of stuff to do this morning, and I was over there. Okay. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. What do you think? Let's see if I can get a little bit of help. And this one's going to come from Eliana. Is that a function? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah. How come?
because they're all following the same rule.
Yeah. And so if food goes in, 2 comes out. If I put food in again, 2 still comes out. Okay? All right. Let's see here, guys. Let me show you another one. Show you another one. This one's going to be 0, 1, and 4. And this is going to be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. If 0 goes in, 0 comes out. If 1 goes in, 1 comes out. If 4 goes in, 2 goes out. If 1 goes in, -1 comes out. If 4 goes in, -2 comes out. Is this a function, yes or no? Will you guys describe why? Teach! Okay. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Ellie, is that a function? LED, is that a function, yes or no? No, why not? Yeah, if I put in a 1, I might get a 1 or I might get a -1. Now, something I really want to point out, guys, is this a predictable function? Like, I heard some yeses and I heard some nos. Like, what if I offered the input 9? Does anyone think they might know what the outputs would be? Aspen? Not 9 or -9. You're on the right track, though. Go ahead, Arnav. Uh-huh. Not that one, not that one. Yeah. Yeah, it would be -3 or 3. Because it's what it basically, if the input is a number, the output is what numbers could I multiply by themselves to get that number. It's like taking the square root. Now that's predictable, but it's still not a function. It's still not a function because those inputs have multiple outputs. It's not a function. Please stop that. Does that make sense, guys? Perfect. Okay, that was half a day. Here's the other half of the day.
Wow.
Got a pencil? Ordered pairs. Okay. Ordered pairs look like this. Input, comma, output. I give you an input, the output comes out. So it looks something like this. Let's say that the input is a food, and the output is, I'm going to ask a random person, and it's going to be whether or not they like that food. Okay? Let me get a food here. I want a food from, let's see here. Steven, give me a food.
Baked armadillo.
Baked armadillo.
Never had it.
Okay, I'm going to draw a random card. That's going to come from Moses. Would you like to eat a baked armadillo? Okay, baked armadillo, comma, no. Okay, let's see if we can get another one. I would love to get that one. Vikram, give me a food. Broccoli. Broccoli. And then I'm going to draw another card. That's going to be C3 Hazel. Do you like broccoli? No. Broccoli, comma, no. I would like one more. Let's see here. Jonathan, give me a food. Pizza. Let's see here. Thomas, would you like to eat some pizza? Yes. I'll put that as a yes, please. Now, guys, is this a function so far? So, well, if I look at this relationship, like if I didn't tell you what this relationship was, like that was the end of it, would you say that's a function? If I didn't tell you anything about it, it would look like a function. But I think maybe what you guys are getting at is if I keep going, this is likely to not be a function. Can someone explain why they think this might not be a function in the long run? Go ahead, Asher.
Maybe
Yeah, absolutely. Like, for example, if I put in broccoli, and I think I saw this happen. Carol, would you like to eat some broccoli? Yeah, I like broccoli too. Guys, there's the same input broccoli can yield different outputs. And that's what makes that a non-function. We should probably be labeling this non-function. I totally forgot about that. And then up here, this was a non-function. And this one was a function. And remember, those curly brackets mean these go together. Okay? So another example would be, let's see here, 1, comma 0, 2, comma 1, 3, comma 0, 4, comma 1, 5, comma 0, 6, comma 0. Is that a function, yes or no? Yeah. Can someone explain to me why it is a function? Why is that a function, Max? Yeah. That's exactly right. It's not about whether we can predict a pattern or not, right? It's about whether a single input has multiple outputs. Something that we don't have time to go over, and I hope you guys are okay. One of the things you're going to need to be able to do is convert these. Do you think you could turn this baked armadillo, broccoli pizza, and broccoli input-output relationship from ordered pairs into a mapping diagram? Where the inputs are baked armadillo, broccoli, and pizza, and then the outputs are yes and no, and then you draw arrows. You guys think you could do that? Okay, good. That saves me half a day. All right. Perfect. Tables of values. Okay. Tables of values. Tables of values. How much time do we have to get through a day of Math 8? Ooh. Yeah, we've been there. We got 8 minutes and 30 seconds to get through to a whole day of Math 8. Here we go. Got a pencil? So a table of values goes input on the left, output on the right. Something that your teachers have had to do an awful lot of lately is when you're confirming your identity with a bank or something, the bank they will never ask you for your full social security number. They won't ask you for it because that's not safe, right? And they know that. Does anyone know what they do ask for? Yeah, they'll ask for the last 4 digits. So the input for this one's going to be your first name, and the output is going to be the last 3 digits of your 9 number, or whatever your student ID is. So let's see here. Grace is our first one. Grace, what is the last 3 digits of your student number?
Hold on.
I know I have to do the same thing.
552.
552. Okay, let's see here. Can I get a little help? Steven, what are the last 3 of yours?
646.
Okay. Let's see here. Thomas, what are the last 3 of yours? 350. I know, I have to run through the whole thing. And then LED, what are the last 3 of yours? 166. So guys, so far, does this look like a function?
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. If I were to go through the whole school, would this still be a function? Okay. I heard yes, I heard no, I heard yeah, no, yes, no. Talk to each other about it and teach. Tell them, I know. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Okay. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Okay, guys. So let's see here. Would it be a function, yes or no? Okay, I'm hearing yeses. I'm hearing nos. Let's see here. I would love to get a little bit of insight. Arnoff, do you think it would or would not be a function? How come? Sure. Okay, okay. I like it. Now, Bradley, you would disagree.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So, yes, there could be like the same output, but we have two Ellie's in this class,
It's
Ellie
true.
B and Ellie R,
Yeah.
and so they have the first name, and I assume they don't have the first last name.
Right, yeah. And here's the thing is that's why my favorite answer is maybe. My favorite answer is maybe because what if everybody in this school who shared the same first name also had the same three last digits of their student number? I mean, how many of you would assume that that means the last three digits of your 9 number have to have something to do with your first name? That's what I would do. I'd be like, no way. There's no way. Let's see here, guys. Like, I can look up LER, and I can tell you it is
Give us
3,
the
4, 5. So that is not a function. It is not a function because of that, okay? All right, let's see here. Yes, go ahead, Claire.
What if you put like their last name?
Then I would say again, I would say maybe again because there might be two Jacob Smiths in this school. I do not know the answer to that question. It has happened. It has happened. Is that true?
I guarantee. Whenever I try,
See?
whenever someone tries to
There you go. Eddie, go for it, quick.
Okay, so I think the last three numbers might have to do with their last name.
It could be.
Because me, my brother, and my sister all have the three last names.
That could be. All right, guys, let's do this. Graphs. Last one. Last one. Last one. We don't have time to make them beautiful, but we are just going to make them really fast. So on a graph, guys, the x-axis represents your input, and the y-axis represents your output, okay? The x-axis represents your input, and the y-axis represents your output. So if you have a graph like this, would you guys say that that is a function, yes or no? Okay, it is. When I say teach, can you say, okay, what do you think a non-function looks like? I'm going to actually write that. That's a non-function there. Talk to each other. What would a non-function look like? Teach. You're right. That would be a non-function. Okay. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Guys, a non-function on a graph would look something like this, right? What happens is it fails what's called the vertical line test. Because if you look at this black graph, every input that I can pick only touches my black graph once. Do you guys see that? But are there any inputs that give me two outputs for my blue graph? Yeah, like the one I'm on right now. Let's say this was let's say that was 10. This guy has an input of 10 and an output of 3, let's say. This guy has an input of 10 and an output of -3, but also an input of 10 and an output of -10, I suppose. Something like that. So this one would be a non-function, and this one would be a function. Okay. Whew! There are two self-assessments that go with that, but they are just like that. It's whether or not this is a function or not a function, and there's a little bit of conversion there. Those of you at home, go ahead and work on those while we get this